Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morris Man, and as always, I thank you guys for coming to my channel. I'm going to entitle this video "A Message to Josh." And before I go into my presentation, I just want to say this because most people don't realize this. YouTube constantly have features that are pretty cool, and they got one feature where if someone comments more than 3 times on one video, they look upon that as spam, and what they do is they block that person and they remove their comment. And this is exactly what happened in this case with Josh. And that's one reason why I'm posting this video, because I don't want Josh to believe that I just blocked him. Because there's some people that I do have to block, and I do, but that was not the case. So please be aware of that. So Josh's comment was basically because I did a video saying, don't try to self-teach yourself. You don't know what you don't know, and you're not going to do a good job. It never fails to, I'm trying to tighten this mic, to do it the right way. Go find someone that's knowledgeable in the area that you want to learn and pay them. And I stress that, pay them, because there's some people just think they're going to get something for free just by asking. And my father had a wise saying, being a grown man, not a teenager or a child, never ask another grown man for something you're not willing to pay for. And that makes a lot of sense. And it's just being fair. You can't go through life expecting stuff for people just because you ask for it. It's totally different when you really need it, medical emergencies or something of that nature. But when it's something that if you work hard, you can acquire yourself, go for it. And his comment was, when I say, especially find somebody to teach you formally, because you're not going to learn to become any kind of musician sitting on YouTube watching fingers. Trust me on this. But there's some people that think that they can, and after 2 years of trying that, thinking that, I can do this without paying anybody, or, I can do this. Then they realize, I done wasted 24 months, if not longer, doing stuff that now I shouldn't be doing. And when I finally find a music teacher to teach me the right, correct, proper technique, it's going to be foreign to me because I'm used to doing it this way, which is the wrong way. And I got to fix that and do it this way, which is the right way, but it seems awkward. And that's exactly what happened to me as far as piano wise, because I play guitar on a professional level and I play professionally. I've been playing piano just as long as I've been playing guitar. I don't play piano that well. I play it well enough to compose on it, because the majority of the stuff that I write is on piano, but I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I got notes up under my hand. I can't tell you what chord I'm playing. I did try years ago to go and get formal lessons to get out of that, but it's so ingrained in my brain as far as how I've been doing, I can't undo it like that. So that's one reason why you don't want to start off on the wrong foot, trying to pick this up by ear, wrong technique, don't know what you're doing. If anybody asks you what kind of chords you got up under your hand, you can't even tell them because you don't know, because you didn't watch some dude on the internet tell you to put your finger there, put your second finger there, and put your finger there. You're not going to do yourself any justice as far as becoming a decent player if you go that route. And I know it's very tempting now with the internet, because you got thousands of dudes on the internet. You watching them, trying to follow them. And my recommendation to Josh was, go find somebody, pay them, and learn. And he said that, the finances are not right and he can't afford it. Real simple. Just wait till you can afford it. Just that simple. Or put together a plan to afford it, because when I was a kid, and everybody's different. I'm not saying do exactly what Morris Man did. When I was a kid, I had the desire to play. I found a music teacher, and my family was not exactly super rich. We basically got the essentials, shelter, clothing, food in our bellies, and a few dollars to get back to school, and that was it. Anything outside of that was considered a luxury that we couldn't afford. So I took it upon myself to put together a plan and start delivering papers. I'm like, okay, somehow I got to pay for this, because I got to pay for it. It's not going to be free, and I do really, really want to do it, and that's the route that we have to take. It don't necessarily have to be a paper route. Maybe you're an older guy, but you got to do something to finance your dream or your desire, because when I sent him that comment, basically I kind of got this. And I read it. It says, Morris Man, seems a bit unfair because we can't exactly go out and get paper routes, but I'm not watching fingers. I'm trying to find people who show chords and theory and whatnot. My response to that is, again, go pay somebody. Because what you're going to do is go get bits and pieces and fragmented pieces of trying to learn guitar, because everything has a sequence. Like when you start to work out, if you're an athlete, day one, you don't go in and try to bench press 250 pounds. You slowly build on that, and you got trainers that will teach you and help you prepare your body and your muscles to get to that point where you can lift that kind of weight. And, that's a good example as far as in general with anything. Because here's the problem with trying to self-teach yourself and find people that are kind enough to give you information, but it's not the right information in the right sequence. And that's the key, the right sequence. When you're a beginner, you got to start at a beginner's pace. But if you're teaching yourself or just watching things on the internet, you don't know what the beginning is. You don't know what the middle is. You don't know what the third part or the fourth part. When you go to a teacher, he's already have that mapped out for you. I want you to start here and keep building. Instead of, again, you're going to try to do it by yourself. You jump in and watching guys' fingers, and these guys have been playing professionally for years, and you expect yourself to be playing like them in a couple of months or a couple of years. That ain't going to happen unless you know the proper technique and being trained formally how to get there, And that's, I stress this because there's some people that still honestly believe that they just can do it by themselves. Because I had one guy, well, I'm a professional musician, and I self-taught myself. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And I asked him, I said, how would you feel if your doctor was self-taught? Hello. I know that's an extreme example, but you get my point. We all got to have some type of formal training in the trade that we're trying to embark on. I mean, it just makes sense. If you're a plumber or striving to be a plumber, you go to school, because there's some things, I'm assuming, because I'm not a plumber, that you got to learn. And it's not just going in there with a plunger or what they call it, the Roto-Rooter thing, and trying to ride out stuff, and you don't know what the fuck you're doing. It's like, and same thing with a guy come in and try to do your electrician work. You hope he knows what he's doing, because if he don't, he can cause a lot of damage, more damage than what's happening now, than the reason why you brought him to your house. So I stress that, I understand, with the advent of the internet, it makes it easier, but that is not the route to take to try to become a pretty good musician. But there's some people that think that that's what's going to happen. And every time I get into this conversation about lessons and learning and paying people for their time, because basically right here from what I can read from Josh, he says, I'm trying to find people to show me, pay these people, never just go out and just be begging for stuff. And some people don't realize that they're begging. I had a good friend. I had to kind of break him down like, dude, I'm tired of this. You calling me, oh, could you do me a favor? I hate to bother you. Well, stop bothering me. Put together your plan to get your shit together. And I had to tell him like that, because I'm like, there's some things you could do on your own. Now, I totally recognize things that you can do by yourself, and I got your back, my brother. But when you can do it yourself, don't come begging me and get into that, that dry begging mode and voice. Could you? No. That ship is sailed. That didn't get tired, And there's sometimes you got to tell people that you care about, because they don't realize that, we've been kind of coddling them and letting them get away with these little things. And then it get to the point, it's like, you know what, this is getting tired. And I have to tell you, you need to go do your own thing and stop begging, Because every time I get into this conversation, I'm going to end this video with this story, because it's hilarious. But let me say this first. I noticed in our interactions with me and Josh, I got lessons that will teach you how to play the rhythm guitar for only $40. That's it. There's no more monthly pay or anything like that. And I noticed that he didn't inquire about that, I noticed that, because I would think most people are like, well, I can't afford $60 a month. But, Morris, man, you got something going up for only $40, and you're a pretty good player. So, I'll take you up on this offer, because I'm literally giving away those lessons. I mean, those lessons are worth 20, 30, 40 times more than what I'm giving it for you guys. But I'm not trying to make money. I'm just trying to help you guys get going. Because how that all started was, long story short, people seen my channel and it started to grow. And they said, man, could you put together something for us to show us how to play like you? And I'm like, I'm not a teacher. And they asked me for over a year. I said, you know what? I'm going to try to put together something comprehensive and coherent that you can learn. And I did. It took me 6 months to put it together. And I'm very proud of it, because I think it will teach you how to play, and play the right way. Learn how to read, learn structure of song, which is more important than learning theory. A little theory, because you don't need a whole lot of theory. You know, theories is just to help you read, and I can help you read chord charts and things of that nature. But back to the story I was going to share with you before I signed off. So I had this guy contact me on my Facebook channel, and he was looking for Manic, and Manic is a really good musician, really good guitar player, and I respect Manic. You know, when he seen my channel, he said, "Man, you got a pretty good right hand," and he said that he contacted me, said a lot of people are asking me to do stuff that I don't do. I do what's quote unquote what's near and dear to my heart. And all these other things that they asked me, I don't do. So would you do some of this? And I was honored that he asked me that. He thought that enough for me to say, hey, he's good enough player to do this. So I did it. You know, I did it for a few people. And, you know, Manic gave me a really nice review on his channel, and that's what helps jumpstart my subscription. I really appreciate it. So he was trying to reach Manic, even though Manic say, I don't do nothing other than what I want to do. So I said, well, unfortunately, you can't reach him anymore because the way that his channel is set up, you can't leave him comments, you can't inbox him. So he said, would you be willing to help me with this song? I'm like, sure, but I'm going to have to charge you. I mean, because it'd be unfair to do this for you, which is an hour and a half of my time each time I do these covers with the chords cross screen, and not do these for these other people and charge them. It's just not fair. So I'm like, you know, I'll have to charge you $15, which is not a lot of money. You know, that's an hour and a half of my time for only $15. I make that 15 minutes into doing studio session work. So, you know, it ain't that I'm starving for $15, but I'm doing this to help you guys. I like helping. So when I told him that, he said this, well, that's okay. I'll figure it out myself. So why didn't you do that in the first place? Why did you have to contact me, begging me, and then trying to reach Manic, begging him, you know? There's people that think that they self-entitled, that just because they ask for some shit that you're going to do it. I'm like, I don't know you, don't even like you. So keep it moving, dude. You know, because there are some people that come to me in a humble fashion. I ain't expecting nobody to kiss my ass, but they're very humble and very sincere about learning something. And sometimes if it ain't hard, I'll do it for free. But it's a lot of nerve when you want to be paid for your service and now, never mind. I'm like, okay, never mind. Go somewhere else, you know. It's a lot of nerve, you know. And I don't deal with toxic people that feel that you're supposed to do stuff for them simply because they asked for it. And they don't have any appreciation for what you did anyway. You know, it's just that simple. But I'm going to sign off now. But I just want to comment on Josh's comment. You know, I understand money is tight, but hey, if you want it, you're going to put together a plan to get there, dude. It's just that simple. Because I want to say this before I forget. There's some people that I interact with. They're in their 30s and their 40s, and my lessons are only $40. Well, I'll see if I can afford it. Dude, if you're 30 or 40 years old and you can't afford $40, you got bigger problems, okay? And that's not being negative to anybody when I make that statement. It's just the reality. If you're a 40-year-old man and can't afford $40, you got bigger problems, my brother, okay? Just that simple. But I do these videos out of love to help you guys, you know, because sometimes you have to be put in the right direction. And please forgive me for tacking on another story. Sometimes you don't realize what you should realize. In the 80s, when that Prince Purple Rain thing jumped off, I had a Honda 550 like him. I actually had mine before the movie came out. And I had a lady that did my clothes for my shows. So I had her, you know, put together a purple outfit with the buttons down the side. At the time, I had the perm and the hair and the face just like him. You know, I had an entourage, and these consisted of people that enjoyed the show and supported me. These were not people that were groupies or women that were groupies that I was sleeping with because I didn't believe in that nonsense. So one day I had breakfast with one of my friends, female, and we were just friends. I mean, just strictly platonic. There was no, I'm gonna try to make a move on her down the line. So I invited her to my house. At the time I was still living at home, and it was early in the morning because I just got off work. So we went to my house, went upstairs, watched TV, ate, and then she left. I took her home, and my mother put me to the side and said, who the fuck you think you are, Sack Man? And when she said that, the light bulb went off. I said, I'm sorry, I get it, thank you. And from that point on, no other females walked up into my mother's house. The only female that walked up into my mother's house, I married, okay? You know, so sometimes you do have to be told things that you're not aware of, because sometimes you're just not aware of them. You know, and it's not that you're trying to do something very disrespectful or you're doing it deliberately. Sometimes you just don't realize what other people see and how they perceive it. you know, and she was right. I said, you know what? I'm sorry. You know, I should have never done this. It never happened again, and it didn't. So, till next time, take care. Thanks for watching.